Good stuff from Brent Beard from First Coast News and also College Sports Today. Brent's been talking of college football with us for quite a few years here, and we always appreciate the conversation. Brent, if you've got any more time, I'm going to go to the next topic. What do you have for us here?
I've got about 5 more minutes, Mark, so let's go.
How about this Alabama staff with also the news of Ben Davis transferring?
Yeah, first of all, unfortunately, Ben Davis was. I think he was a real specimen, but Mark, for whatever reason, it just didn't work. And I think one thing Saban does that he doesn't get enough credit for is he tries to find these players who need to move on, kind of a soft landing spot, shall we say. That would be interesting to see where he goes. And Ben left a heartfelt message for Alabama fans at that time too. So we will follow and see where that goes. I think this staff, frankly, he does an amazing job a lot of times. And look, everything Nick Saban does centers around recruiting. And we understand that. And these head coaches, Bill O'Brien, obviously Doug Marrone, who was here in Jacksonville. Now, Doug Marrone was not a great NFL head coach. I'll be honest about that. But Doug Marrone's a good guy. I think he'll be fine as an offensive line coach. But you and I both know in his most recent hire, and forgive me for mispronouncing his name, Mark, help me on this, but Jay Valaya, I hope I'm close with that, who he just hired. Yeah, that replaces Carl Scott. He obviously has NFL ties too. And Mark, the bottom line is these kids, that's their main goal, that they want to play in the NFL. And when they're sitting in their particular unit, I mean, when you're on the Alabama offensive line and you're talking to Doug Marrone, who was in the NFL, and you're talking about a guy who get you to the NFL. Those guys sit up and listen when they make hires like that. So, but I will say this, I think the continuity of this staff that stayed together for Mark, at least 2 or 3 years, had a tremendous advantage. It was one of the big reasons why Alabama won a national championship this year, because of that chemistry of that football team.
Absolutely. Alabama, do we know when they hit spring practice? Do we know of any other teams in the SEC that have set their spring dates?
The spring dates are still a little bit up in the air. Bama and Georgia, their spring games are on the 17th. So some of these other, again, Florida, if people are just tuning in, Florida does not have a spring game this year, which frankly will be the second year in a row that they won't. Last year because of COVID. So I think we will get more firm dates coming up. I would certainly think in the next week, something like that. And look, I like spring. I think it's important. I mean, we've been talking about Alabama, and I mean, Mark, my goodness, how important would the spring be for Bryce Young, the quarterback, to get 15 of those in? And you could fill in the blank with pretty much anybody for our viewers, whoever your favorite team is right now, in order to do it. So I hope everybody is able to get 15 practices in. And I still think having a spring game is important for the fans to be able to connect with the team. Now, all these spring games are going to be like 25% as they were during the regular season games, with hope that it would be more by the time we get to September and August with week 0 games. So right now, again, spring on the verge of happening, but it has happened at Florida.
Good stuff from Brent Beard. Brent, you know that you're always welcome here, and I appreciate the conversation every time. You can catch Brent on First Coast News and also College Sports Today.
Well, let me say as I go out here that for our viewers, I think they all know this, anything Mark Rogers does is going to be first class. It's going to be very obviously entertaining. So and I'm always glad to be an honor to be able to be a part of it for everyone, and certainly hope they enjoy that. And I'm glad that you're here and deserve to be here for as long as you want to be here, or like me, for forever long our daughters allow us to do anything. Right, Mark?
That's it. They call the shots. No question about that when it comes right down to it.